everyone, Ekon here from the Foundation server. Welcome back to another episode. This is version 9.0, STFC version 9.0. So it's an absolutely massive update for Star Trek Fleet Command. Most of it, though, does relate to the high rollers. I say that it's not in a negative way. A lot of people have been saying that's kind of a negative comment, but realistically, everything that's been introduced now pre-Christmas time is essentially for level 30s, maybe high level 30s, but 100% it's predominantly for the level 39s and above. So uncapping to level 50, 120 new star systems, most of them in deep space or dark space, which you have to unlock, and I'll show you in a second. 12 new ships, 60 new upgrades. All of them are predominantly for the really, really high levels. So there are some other things, 75 new levels and some ability to upgrade D3 and Mayflower and all that. But predominantly you're looking at dark space here. You need to get to level 38 or around about there to unlock it, so that you can unlock the paths, and more importantly, you can from there on also get towards the dark space and deep space. There is a bit of a difference. You can see here that there's a lot of systems high up there, and warp range is much higher. You'll notice that your warp ranges for existing systems has also changed, so just have a look at that and you'll notice that there's a slight tweak to the warp ranges. But predominantly here you'll see that there's G4 resources up in the high level systems. There's a fog of war, so you see that icon there. It means you have to be in the system to actually see what's in there, and that's really important because it means that you can actually mine in relative safety. So unless someone's gonna fly in and out all the time or already has a miner there, they won't really know that you're there. So in a sense, I think I kind of like that. I wish it was actually everywhere, because it means that you can kind of go and not have to continuously be, if you are at war, you're not chased down by miners and people hitting your miners and all that. So in terms of the ships, I mean, everyone's like, oh, what are the new ships? I don't see these new ships. Well, again, for good reason, because they're mainly geared at that upgrade ops to unlock. So you need to get to level 39 to have a look at the new ships. You can kind of have a sneak peek. So if you go to your faction store there and have a look around, you'll notice when you get down there, and by the way, you'll notice that at the top there, it's not locked anymore to 10,500,000. So there's the Hydra, there's Kelvin Blueprint and Newton, but yeah, so basically I think it's 1 billion or 10 billion now that you're gonna have to basically get to lock a faction reputation. So that now there's new levels, there's Champion and Glorified and all that. I think Champion is a very, very top level, but you will need to get to an extremely high level to lock it. It's making it, basically it's marking the end of the dual and triple faction. You might be able to dual it if you're lucky, if you got the right research and the right mix and the right ships and all that kind of stuff. So you might be able to do that. Having a look at the Klingons, so again, there's, like we mentioned, there's 12 ships. So I think that's 3 in each one. So 3 in Federation, 3 in Klingon, and 3 in Romulan. And then there's some others that we'll have a look at as well. So you can see that that's the miner. The miners are going to be astronomically, just ridiculously expensive, but really powerful as well. Romulans, again, we're going to see Pasta Ogor there now. We can get to the Vorta Vor class miner, and then you can go past there into the Pilum class, which looks like a Gladius, of course, and everything. So the other thing that you'll notice as well is that if you do end up, I suppose if you do end up kind of looking at the notifications at the top there, just be mindful of that whilst I'm going through this, because they're actually showing up below the text box, chat box, which is pretty useful. Here you can see I've got 714 million power steel to get to the next level. So if you're level 38, it's really, really crucial that you be mindful of the fact that you're going to need a lot of power steel to upgrade. That's just one building as well. I mean, we're talking level 38 to 39, you're probably going to need like about 6 or 7 billion in power steel, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's just way too much in my opinion. So if you had to buy it your way through it, and that's not to mention the defense platforms and everything, and 38 is kind of like one of those bits where you kind of have to upgrade everything to get to level 39, which is really annoying. So I think 39 to 40 you won't need as much. So they have introduced some new things in here, some I suppose pre-Christmas specials. I don't know if that's for us or for Scopely, really. Sorry to say, but it is the most amount of power steel I've ever seen in any pack. But remember, as always, to only buy what you need to get to the next level, because you get more rewards at each level ups that is higher. So In this particular one, if you have a look here, there's some alpha tokens, which I'll show you in a second what that really actually means. So the alpha tokens you can redeem for par steel as well and other things. You can see here there's 820 million. So 720 and 100 million, that is absolutely ridiculous. So it is a lot. It is the most I've seen in terms of what we're going to need to get to level 50. And you know, the idea that you might need 100 billion or more, who knows? It's probably going to reach 1 trillion, really. I think LCARS actually has all the data, but you know, that means that, you know, buying a couple of packs now is just a drop in the bucket of what you're actually going to need. You know, look, so it's not so bad. Maybe a lot of us will hang around 42 or 44 or something like that. I'm sure there's some whales that are definitely going to get up there. So again, it's geared towards, you know, really, really high levels. Skip past all this shiny stuff. You don't want to get into this. Just go straight to par steel, because that's really where it's going to come in if you want a higher ops level and more ships and everything. If you do the calculation here, you'll notice that 20 chests, 64k, 1 million par steel, you can actually get somewhere around 600 million there. Actually, I think it's about 800 million. I think if you calculate it, let me just pause for a second and calculate it. Okay, so it's 100 million plus 820 plus 930 if you spend everything basically on par steel and only the par steel tokens. So that's a really ridiculous amount. It's 1.75 billion in par steel tokens. That is ridiculous. So that's not too bad. It's still only about a third or a fourth of the way from 38 to 39. But you know what? That, you know, some people may have upgraded more stuff than I have here. So you know, that's basically the way I see it. So that's to me, that's like 2 buildings, maybe 3 buildings at best. So that's going to really hurt, but at least you will be able to kind of get on your way and get over that 39 hurdle, which is you know, a massive blocker. And you know, with the fog of war and everything else that's happening in some of these new events, you might be able to actually build up a sufficient amount and get there. So what's next is a scrapyard, and I highly recommend that you do not use this. You get about 5% back for anything that you ditch. Let me walk you through an example, because you do need to also level up the scrapyard to make it happen. This backlist is completely tiered up, right? Ship XP, everything. I've probably spent like 1 million, you get 50k back. I've probably spent like, I don't know, it must be like 20-30 million in dilithium and 200 or 300 million in tritanium and hundreds in rare refined gas, and I get absolutely nothing back. So this, I mean, I get something back, but it's just not enough and it's not worth it. And why would you do that in 4 days? I'm just testing one out here with the Churros, but honestly, I just don't see the point. Okay, so that's the scrapyard, and obviously you're going to have a lot of other ships and everything here. I guess ultimately it depends if you're really willing to sacrifice a whole range of ships that are lower level just for the idea of possibly gaining a little bit more, a bit of an edge to get across the line for another ship part or something like that. But when you consider that an Enterprise and all these high level ships will need like 100 G3 gas or maybe 500 G3 gas if you tier to level 6 to upgrade, it's just a drop in the bucket. It's not really worth ditching your old ships over, unless you've somehow built so many and you've built the maximum. I don't know. So here, just an example is what I was saying before. The notifications are a little bit lower, which is absolutely awesome. It means that you can actually, you know, chat when you're hitting hostiles and these messages are coming in relentlessly one after the other. And sometimes, you know, when that bug happens and you get for so many. Anyway, so that kind of helps. There's supposed to be some new dailies. I haven't seen them yet, so that'll be interesting. You know, I'm just going through and updating all of the missions as best as I can, and we'll see what happens on that front. So we'll just have to keep a close eye on it. So beyond that, there's a few other things that you'll see down here. You know, so it does mention the 16 new upgrades and all that, but you know, people have been asking, well, what is that and why can't I see it? The reason is that, again, this is all for 39s and up. So you have to upgrade. You know, I'm trying to see past there. Really, it's frustrating, but you can't see past there. Upgrade ops to unlock. So you're going to need to be level 39. I'm kind of tempted to dish out just to get there, but I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. That's the thing. I mean, they're basically asking you to invest massively, a lot more, double down basically to get there. So grade 4 ships and all that kind of stuff. And the level 50s, their PvP range will still have, you know, even at level 50, it'll be 33. So you're still, everyone's still going to get hit. I suppose to take that expression, the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. That's basically what's going to happen because, you know, 2-3 million miners will be starting to come out, and then where are we gonna where are we gonna be, right? So you can see the system's just completely changed everywhere, yeah. So I think, look, I mean, I think it's a good upgrade if you are at the higher levels. For the lower levels, I'm not really sure what the point is, but ultimately, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed just that first kind of quick and dirty dig into 9.0 update. Please subscribe. Please do subscribe to this and like it. It definitely helps out, and it helps me just keep the channel going. If you do have any queries, questions, anything you have in mind, something you want me to review in the future, please do drop me a line.